When Timothée Chalamet climbed to the very top of the Las Vegas sphere, glowing bright orange, most people did not know what was really happening behind the scenes of his wildest movie yet. This is not a story about normal sports or trophies. This is the story of Marty Supreme, a ping-pong hustler whose real life was so crazy, Hollywood could barely show it. Marty Supreme is not a safe movie. It is messy, loud, and full of action. It smashed at 24's box office records, making $875,000 from just 6 theaters. That is $145,900 per screen. Fans could not get enough, selling out almost 100 showings even before the full release. Critics gave it a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying it is Timothée Chalamet's best performance ever. But the real story is the actual Marty Riceman was even wilder than the movie. Back in 1950s New York, the underground ping-pong world was a mix of skill, danger, and crazy bets. Marty Riceman, nicknamed the Needle because of his thin frame and fast reflexes, was not some rich kid playing for fun. He was a Jewish boy from Manhattan's Lower East Side, whose father drove a taxi and loved gambling, and whose mother worked long hours in garment factories after fleeing the Soviet Union. By the time he was 14, Marty was already a city junior champion, but that did not pay much. So he walked into Lawrence's Broadway table tennis club on 54th Street. This was where the real money was. Players could make hundreds of dollars in a single night, betting on games that lasted until sunrise. The room was full of all kinds of people, students, doctors, actors, and serious gamblers. One player once said Marty had a trigger in his thumb. His shots were so fast they could almost take your eyebrows off. At 15, Marty did something insane. He bet $500 on himself in a national tournament in Detroit. Today, that is like betting over $6,000. But the man he trusted turned out to be the head of the United States Table Tennis Association. The police escorted Marty out, and he was banned from professional table tennis worldwide. But Marty did not give up. From 1949 to 1951, Marty and his partner Douglas Cartland toured with the Harlem Globetrotters, but instead of basketball, they played ping-pong in the most unbelievable ways. They used frying pans, sneakers, and even played blindfolded. They did tricks that made crowds go wild. Comedian Jonathan Katz remembered Marty beating him using the flat end of a chess piece. Director Josh Safety grew up hearing these stories from his great-uncle, who played at Lawrence's. When Safety discovered Marty's autobiography, The Money Player, he knew this was a story worth telling. Safety had just finished working on Uncut Gems, so he knew what it took to bring obsessive, risky characters to life. When he pitched the movie to Timothée Chalamet, he focused on one thing, Marty's unique look and energy. Chalamet said yes immediately. But Chalamet did not just learn ping-pong. He disappeared into the role. He trained for 6 to 7 years until every move looked like a real professional. The movie cost $70 million, the most expensive in a 24's history. Safety even had Chalamet wear glasses with contact lenses under them to make his eyes look smaller, temporarily affecting his vision. Chalamet did his own stunts, while the crew filmed on real 35mm film with old lenses to capture the 1950s New York feel. They rebuilt locations that no longer existed. Lawrence's Broadway Table Tennis Club had been demolished decades ago, but the production designer recreated it using old blueprints, black and white photos, and even a 16mm color recording. Other scenes were shot in real locations in New York and Japan. Every detail was designed to make the story feel real. The movie follows Marty Mouser, a brass shoe salesman who becomes a ping-pong champion in post-war New York. The cast is full of big names in quirky roles. Gwyneth Paltrow plays a retired actress who gets involved with Marty. Odessa Asian is a married pet store worker having a secret affair with him. Tyler, the creator, plays Wall-E, Marty's taxi-driving friend. Even basketball legend George the Iceman Gervin and playwright David Mamet make appearances. The marketing was just as crazy as the movie. Chalamet filmed an 18-minute fake Zoom call pitching ridiculous ideas, painting the Statue of Liberty orange, dropping ping-pong balls on crowds, and flying a blimp across America. Somehow, he made most of them happen. A bright orange blimp with Marty Supreme's face flew across the United States. The Empire State Building glowed orange, and Chalamet became the first person to stand on top of the Las Vegas Sphere. Chalamet even promised to appear at 128 screenings in New York City over 4 days. People thought he was joking, but he actually did it. Fans were amazed. The movie is not just something to watch. It feels personal, like the actor himself is inviting you into the story. Marty Supreme already got 3 Golden Globe nominations: Best Musical or Comedy, Best Actor for Chalamet, and Best Screenplay. Predictions say it could make between $12 million and $20 million over the Christmas weekend. But this is not a usual sports movie. Marty Mouser is selfish, rude, and exhausting at times. He burns bridges, treats people poorly, and almost has no good qualities. Yet audiences cannot look away. That is because the movie is not asking you to like him. It is showing how ambition can drive someone to greatness, and at what cost. Marty Reisman never became a worldwide champion, but he still left a mark. He won 5 bronze medals at World Championships, became United States men's singles champion twice, and even won a national hard bat championship at 6-7. He performed incredible tricks on live television, spent his life promoting traditional table tennis, and refused to adapt to modern changes in the sport. He passed away in 2012, but his legend lives on. Marty Supreme includes real history too. One scene shows a Polish table tennis champion surviving Nazi imprisonment because guards respected his fame. The movie is not a feel-good story. It is a warning wrapped in thrilling ping-pong scenes, gritty 1950s New York, and one of Chalamet's most fearless performances. The film asks tough questions. Who should we admire? Is achieving your dreams worth harming others? Marty Supreme may not be a typical hero, but he grabs your attention like no one else. Timothée Chalamet risked everything to tell this story, and now audiences are left asking if they are ready to follow a hero who does not deserve love but commands it anyway. This movie is not just a sports story. It is about obsession, talent, risk, and the wild world of underground ping pong. Every scene, every shot, and every stunt was built to make you feel like you are right there with Marty, watching the chaos, the glory, and the consequences of chasing a dream without stopping. Marty Supreme is unforgettable, and Timothée Chalamet made sure you will not forget him either.